Welcome to 7 Days Report, your go-to source for all major news from around the world. I'm your host, Vasilios Nikolaos Vitsilogiannis, and I'm thrilled to have you join us this evening. Every weekend at 12 p.m. and 9 p.m., we bring you the latest headlines, in-depth analysis, and insightful commentary on the stories that matter most. Whether you're tuning in for a recap of the week or looking for a deeper understanding of global events, we've got you covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into the most pressing issues shaping our world today. Thank you for being here with us on this journey through the news. Argentine President Javier Milei is under fire after lawyers filed fraud charges against him for promoting a cryptocurrency called Libra on social media. The allegations stem from a post Milei made on X, formerly Twitter, on Friday, where he touted Libra as a means to stimulate economic growth by funding small businesses and startups. The post included a link to purchase the digital coins. However, the post was deleted within hours, leading to a significant drop in the cryptocurrency's value and substantial losses for investors. According to DexScreener, investors suffered millions of dollars in losses. Lawyers have accused Milei of an illicit scheme and a rug pull where developers attract investors before abandoning the project and absconding with the funds. Jonathan Baldivieso, one of the lawyers who filed the charges, stated that Milei's actions were crucial to the alleged fraud and that he also violated the public ethics law. Milei's political opponents have condemned his actions, with some calling for impeachment proceedings. In response, Milei stated that he was unaware of the details of the project and deleted the post to prevent speculation. His office has announced that the Anti-Corruption Office will investigate the matter to determine if any criminal activity occurred. The President's office also acknowledged that Milei and his team had recently met with representatives of KIP Protocol, the developers of Libra. A Delta Airlines flight arriving from Minneapolis crashed upon landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport on Monday afternoon, flipping upside down on the runway. All 80 passengers and crew members survived, but at least 18 individuals sustained injuries. The incident occurred around 3:30 p.m. local time amid strong winds and wintry conditions. The aircraft, a CRJ-900, ended up inverted on the snow-covered tarmac, missing a wingtip. Emergency crews responded swiftly, extinguishing a fire that broke out after the crash. Passengers evacuated the overturned plane, with some having to jump several feet from the exit doors. While most appeared unharmed, 18 injured individuals were transported to local hospitals, including a child in stable condition. According to Orange, Ontario's air ambulance service, 3 people suffered critical injuries: a child, a man in his 60s, and a woman in her 40s. The cause of the crash is under investigation by the Transportation Safety Board of Canada. Aviation specialists suggest that the severe weather conditions, including strong gusts of up to 40 mph and recent snowfall, may have been contributing factors. The incident led to a temporary shutdown of all 5 runways at Toronto Pearson International Airport, resulting in significant delays and the cancellation of over 200 flights. While 3 runways have since reopened, the 2 runways where the crash occurred will remain closed for investigation. Hamas has made a significant proposal to release all Israeli hostages in exchange for a permanent ceasefire and the complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza. This offer comes amid ongoing Israeli attacks, despite a recent ceasefire agreement that was supposed to ease tensions. Hamas spokesperson Hazem Qassem emphasized that the group is ready for a one-go exchange of captives, aiming to solidify a lasting peace in the region. The militant group previously indicated plans to increase the number of hostages released during the next swap from 3 to 6, responding to requests from mediators and families of the captives. This decision reflects Hamas's intent to demonstrate its commitment to fulfilling the terms of the ceasefire agreement. However, Hamas has firmly rejected Israeli demands for its disarmament and removal from Gaza, labeling such conditions as ridiculous psychological tactics. Despite these diplomatic efforts, violence continues, with reports indicating that Israeli strikes have resulted in casualties among Palestinians, even while negotiations are underway. The Gaza Health Ministry reported at least 3 deaths and numerous injuries in recent attacks. The humanitarian situation remains dire, with estimates suggesting that rebuilding Gaza could cost over $53 billion due to the extensive damage inflicted during the conflict. As negotiations progress, both sides face pressure from their respective constituencies, highlighting the complexities of reaching a sustainable resolution in this long-standing conflict. On Thursday, February 20th, 2025, South Korea's impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol faced the first hearing of his criminal trial at the Seoul Central District Court, where he stands accused of orchestrating an insurrection. This marks a historic moment as Yoon becomes the first South Korean president to be tried in a criminal case. The charges stem from his controversial declaration of martial law in December 2024, which he claimed was necessary to protect the nation from threats posed by North Korea and internal factions opposing his administration. During the preliminary hearing, security was heightened with over 3,200 police deployed to manage crowds of supporters and protesters outside the court. The session focused on discussing potential witnesses and arrangements for future proceedings. Yoon's defense team is seeking to annul his arrest and secure his release from custody, arguing that the martial law declaration was a legitimate act of governance. Prosecutors have labeled Yoon as the ringleader of an insurrection, emphasizing the gravity of the charges, which could lead to severe penalties, including life imprisonment or even death. The Constitutional Court is concurrently deliberating on Yoon's impeachment, which could lead to new elections if upheld. As this political crisis unfolds, South Korea remains uncertain regarding its leadership and governance. Germany gears up for federal elections this Sunday, and the rise of the far-right Alternative for Germany, AfD party, is causing increasing alarm, particularly among the African diaspora. The AfD, known for its anti-immigrant stance and calls for mass deportations, is polling as high as 20%, potentially securing a second-place finish behind the center-right Christian Democratic Union, CDU-CSU. The AfD's growing popularity is attributed to several factors, including concerns about immigration, economic anxieties, and a perception that mainstream parties are failing to address these issues. Recent incidents involving migrants have further fueled anti-immigrant sentiment, which the AfD has capitalized on by advocating for stricter migration policies and the repatriation of migrants. Young voters, particularly men, are increasingly drawn to the AfD. Pew Research indicates that 26% of German men view the AfD favorably, a significant increase from previous years. This shift is attributed to a sense of disconnection from left-leaning parties that focus on issues like feminism and equality. The AfD's rise has sparked widespread protests across Germany, highlighting the deep divisions within the country. Critics accuse the party of racism, Islamophobia, and extremism. With the AfD poised to gain more seats in the German parliament, the next government faces the challenge of combating political radicalization and addressing the concerns that are driving support for the far right. Experts suggest that mainstream parties must address immigration and economic issues effectively while upholding democratic values and inclusivity. Overcoming political radicalization necessitates a multifaceted approach that integrates economic, social, and political strategies to foster cohesion and resilience against extremist ideologies. As we wrap up another edition of the 7 Days Report, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks for joining me this evening. We've covered a wide array of significant global events, and I hope you found our news insightful and engaging. Remember, you can catch us every weekend at 12 p.m. and 9 p.m. for your weekly major news from around the world. Your feedback and interactions are what make this show special, so don't hesitate to reach out and share your thoughts. Stay tuned for next week's episode, where we'll dive deeper into the stories shaping our world. Until then, take care and keep informed. This is Vasilios Nikolaos Vitsilogiannis signing off. Have a great evening.